could be forgiven for thinking I'm sitting on Brighton Beach, but you can't blame me for taking the last of the summer sun. It looks like Brighton Beach and it actually feels like Brighton Beach, but it is in fact the gravel trap on the outside of Paddock Hill Bend at Brands Hatch. It's deep, it's very, very deep, and it has to be, because when the tidal wave of superbikes comes over that hill, if any one of them goes adrift, this gravel hopefully will stop them hitting that fence, just as it stopped Steve Hislop earlier this year in the World Superbike Round.
Well, qualifying took place in perfect conditions, and Chris Walker and Neil Hodgson, the two championship contenders, first and second on the grid, followed by Reynolds, third in the championship, and teammate Hayden there on the front row. Mackenzie, very good in qualifying on the second row. On the third row there you can see Rutter, Emmett Crawford and Anthony Gobert. And don't be surprised if it's wet if Anthony Gobert doesn't spring a surprise on row 4. Craggill, Harris, Young and Wood.
It's a damp track all the way round the circuit, so watch Chris Walker there, first time pole position for number 2, but alongside him Neil Hodgson, and it could well be that the Ducatis get the grip, but Hodgson did not get a particularly good start. James Hayden got his Ducati into second place, but it was Chris Walker again, another one of those electrifying starts. The number 2 Suzuki leads, number 5 James Hayden on the Ducati in second place, but it is very, very wet and treacherous and slippery out there. Some of the riders have opted to use slick tyres, but the majority have gone for intermediates or indeed full wets, and well, they might need full wets because it's getting darker and darker, but Chris Walker's down! Chris Walker, the championship leader, is down and out of round 21 here at Brands Hatch.
Well, it looked to me that the back end turned then, and I would imagine, looking at the bike as it was laid down, that he had a cut rear slick, and that was polished on one side. He got on the wet part of the track, and down it went, and the back end came round. But Chris, it looks like he's probably getting back in the race, so this is good news for the fans and good news for his points championship. This is the instant. You can see the back end just comes round as he leans the bike over. There's a slippery part of the track there, a different surface, and it's caught him out.
Well, Neil Hodgson had a front row seat to witness that. He was sitting in third place when Chris Walker slid off. Mercifully, Walker was sufficiently far in front not to collect anyone. James Hayden then now in second, but Neil Hodgson came here trailing by 6 points in the championship for the first time this season, and he now is in a race-winning slot, but it's getting darker and darker and darker. But Neil Hodgson in third place, number 22, the Kawasaki, the green Kawasaki of Steve. Walker's blown up, so that bike was damaged when he went down. Roger, any idea what that might have been?
Well, when a bike goes on its side, anything can happen. Behind that fairing, that's the fiberglass part of the bike, anything can get damaged or trapped, and obviously something's happened to make the bike seize up.
Race leader, number 4, Neil Hodgson. In third place, in second place indeed, the Kawasaki number 22 of Steve Plater. So he's really, really going well here. We're expecting to see the wet weather specialists. Look out for Michael Rutter, number 31, and there is Walker, parked by the side of the track. So his race is over, and I just dread to think, I can't imagine what's going on in that man's head at the moment. He's seen it all slip away, literally in front of his eyes. Down he went, he's out of the race, but pressing hard now in second place, Steve Plater from Lincolnshire. He's been getting better and better and better since his mid-season spate of crashes when he knocked himself about quite badly on the Kawasaki. Look at the sky, it can only get worse, Roger.
I can't begin to tell you how difficult the surface is as Plater takes the lead up the inside of Neil Hodgson into Druitt's corner. So now Steve Plater's in the lead. I can see that the rear tyre on Plater's bike looks like a rear slick. Now, if it does happen to rain, then that's going to be a problem for him. But let's not forget that this race started as a wet race, which means that if it does rain, they are not compelled to stop it.
Well, this is the first time that Steve Plater has led a British Superbike round, and he's doing it in good style. But of course, Neil Hodgson will know now that his arch rival and chief adversary, and there he is, Chris Walker, very, very dejected Chris Walker. Hodgson will know that he's out of the race, so he also knows that Steve Plater, from a points standpoint, is absolutely no threat to him at all. The danger man is John Reynolds, and there is John Reynolds. Oh, it's raining really, really heavily now on that part of the circuit. They're swarming all over Steve Plater. Number 6, Sean Emmett. He won a race here at Brands with a slick rear tyre on his Ducati. Hayden is elbowing his way through into second place. They're not giving up. Look how close they are. It must be desperately tricky now.
This is incredibly difficult for these riders. They've started a race on a reasonably dry track. It's now raining. They do not have the tyres to cope with this level of water on the track. And we're going to see all sorts of action now as Sean Emmett there in the lead on bike number 6 probably has got wet tyres fitted, but he's a very, very good wet weather rider. But look, they're all over the place.
Neil Hodgson in second place, the number 4 Ducati. Oh, Neil almost threw it away. He's on the grass. Somebody's down. Left of the picture there, Sparks. Somebody went down. Neil Hodgson, his motocross experience kept him upright. Goodness knows how he kept it upright. He almost threw it away there. That would have been honours even, Roger.
Well, he did the same thing as Chris Walker on that patch of tarmac that's different. The back came round, he held it. Look at this for control, and it's Plater that's gone down in the background. I can tell you that Steve Plater, the early race leader, bike 22, has gone down. I saw that in the background. This is where Hodgson gets really, really almost crossed up, puts the foot down, has a dab, back on the track, and joins the track with his teammate coming round. And there's Steve Plater being held away, and he looks like he's all right. And John Crawford there must have crashed as well, and both of them embrace each other, moved up from 600s into this superbike class, and really they'll not know what it's all about. And look at Emmett. Emmett's indicating there that this race needs to be stopped. He's shaking his arm as Rutter now takes the lead.
There's 16 Shane Byrne, and it looks as though that's James Hayden's Ducati. Hayden and Byrne are both at red flag. The weather's gone from bad to worse. It really is very, very wet.
Well, the riders lined up as they finished, and that's Sean Emmett on pole position there on bike number 6. Neil Hodgson shoots through on bike number 4 coming from the second row, so starting as they finished the race as it stopped. Now the conditions still just as bad as they were, although be it all not raining quite as hard, but a very, very wet track indeed, and all of these riders will now have the appropriate wet weather tyres.
Well, there is a lot of water still on the circuit, and grey skies, no sun coming through, and virtually no breeze means that it's not going to dry that quickly either. So I fully expect us to have wet conditions throughout this race, which bodes well for number 31, Michael Rutter, who leads at the moment. In second place as I speak, number 5, James Hayden, who was one of those fallers but has been allowed to make the restart. He was going really well. Neil Hodgson had the fright of his life in the first part when he took to the grass. His teammate number 7, Neil Mackenzie, there in 4th place, going very, very well indeed. Anthony Gobert, the number 95 Yamaha, who has stepped in to replace Steve Hislop. He had his debut ride at Mallory Park, did not like it at all, but he's going well here. He is leading teammate David Jeffries, but out in front, it's Michael Rutter, the Rain Man. Rutter, number 31, Hayden, number 5 in second. Hodgson, Reynolds coming strongly now. There's Colin Wright watching his man. They're all very tense. There's a lot hanging on this race. Now, who is in third? It's Gobert in third. It's Reynolds in fourth. Up to the lead. At Druids goes number 5, Hayden. So he is having a terrific race here. Hayden came here 4th place in the championship on 274 points, and he's in a 25-point position at the moment. But don't forget, we're talking about adjusted time.
Well, on adjusted time, we've yet to see where Hayden would be, and that's Paul Denning, the Suzuki team manager.
Look at Gobert, that distinctive helmet, and he has a little flashing red light on there. Is he going to pull the same move at Paddock Hill Bend? Up inside James Hayden. Yes, he goes into the lead here, and there are tail-enders ahead of them. It's going to be fun and games.
Well, the fastest man on the track at the moment is John Reynolds. Look at the back of your screen there. Reynolds has caught up with Michael Rutter, and there's Chris Walker looking very, very, very depressed indeed.
Well, it's close stuff.
Well, it's certainly close stuff, but I don't think James Hayden is doing what he's supposed to be doing here, because John Reynolds would ideally like to be passed, and this is an opportunity for him as they break into Druids, and John Reynolds leans on James Hayden there, but James Hayden's having none of it.
In fact, John Reynolds went wide there. Rutter took a big twitch. We're on the last lap now. Less than a mile for them to go. We're on the last lap, and Reynolds must get past Hayden. They're both skating about, the rear end letting loose here. Michael Rutter must know where he stands in the reckoning, and there it is. 0.9 of a second. Reynolds is behind Rutter. He must close him down. In other words, stretch away, but get past Hayden. That is the paramount job he has to do, and he's going round the outside, powering the Ducati. Is it going to be enough? No, Hayden is fighting back. The checkered flag's out. Michael Rutter on adjusted time gets the win. Neil Hodgson was actually 6th. 10 points go to Hodgson, so that really has helped Chris Walker. It could have been a total catastrophe. Rutter, Hayden, Reynolds, Gobert.
Had a bit of a problem with the front brake. That's been real hard, like no feeling to it. Just worried about losing the front so easy, but You know, when Gobert cleared off, I thought, God, I'd love to try and stick in with him, but, you know, he was going well.
Well, celebrations all round. James Hayden shaking the champagne, but probably just as well that Michael Rutter is in between those two. Just 10 points separates number 4 from bike number 2, number 4 in the lead as they come under starters' orders for round 22, and this race has been reduced to just 20 laps, and Walker gets the whole shot. And who's surprised by that? Certainly not me. Hodgson tucks in behind Walker. Plater goes all the way around the outside, and Steve Plater on the Kawasaki takes the lead.
Well, second lead for Steve Plater, albeit momentarily, because Chris Walker, number 2, has put the Suzuki back in front again. Number 31, Michael Rutter, winner of round 21, has gone with him. Plater's well placed in 3rd. Neil Hodgson sitting in a 13-point place at the moment in 4th place. So you know what the gap was coming into this race. Just 10-point deficit this man, number 2, had on that man, number 4. Hodgson up to 3rd. He's tucked the Ducati inside Steve Plater's Kawasaki. He's got to hang on to Chris Walker, and a rerun of the start, Roger.
This is on board with Walker looking backwards. You can see Mackenzie on bike 7, and that's how Chris Walker does it. Straight through into the lead. There's Reynolds on bike 3. You can see Shane Burns 16, Rutter number 31 as they're all coming into view in the wake of Chris Walker, and Walker goes past Plater on bike 22.
Reynolds saw his championship challenge come just a little touch closer because he clawed some points back on the... Oh, that's Hodgson! That is Neil Hodgson! Oh no! Neil Hodgson has gone down. He's done exactly what Chris Walker did in round 21, and he's so desperately trying to get that bike picked up. That was at the bottom of Graham Hill. Chris Walker is skating all over the tarmac, Roger. Sensational stuff.
Whoa! Sensational stuff indeed, because that's David Jeffries down.
Well, number 31 in 3rd place, Michael Rutter, still in a rostrum position, but it's up to 2nd, and he can smell a win here for number 3, John Reynolds. 20 points are his for the taking at the moment, and he will know that Neil Hodgson has gone out. This is the passing move. Looking forward from John Reynolds. Michael Rutter has gone out of picture on your left into Paddock Hill Bend. We are now well over 3/4 race distance. He's just got to hang on to the end. Reynolds still in 2nd. No sign, of course, of Neil Hodgson on that caption because we saw him crash out. He's in the pit garage, and he too now will be taking his turn watching the television monitor. He'll be doing the maths in his head, and he will know, assuming Chris Walker takes it all the way. That's Gobert! Anthony Gobert, winner of the second half of race 1, has dumped the Yamaha on the grass here. Now there's an air of resignation in the Ducati pit, but it's not over yet, as we've said so many times over the weeks and months of this thrilling season that we've had in the year 2000. It's going to be very interesting to see if we can actually get a better year next year. That remains to be seen. But in 3rd place, is he going to finish 3rd in the year 2000 championship? Number 3, John Reynolds. Michael Rutter, the Rain Man, going really well, but this is Reynolds.
Well, Reynolds there nearly being run off the track by a slower rider again costing him time, and poor old John sometimes seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's allowed Michael Rutter, the guy in the red bike there, to get ahead of him.
Chris Walker on his final lap won't be taking any chances now. This will give him a 21-point championship lead. A look over the shoulder from Chris Walker. It certainly turned his day round. He must have felt so dejected halfway through the afternoon. The crowd have stayed here. The conditions have been dreadful. The summer's really gone, but it's still Chris Walker on his way. The air horns are going. Exiting clearways now, coming down towards the line. Paul Denning and the Suzuki team are absolutely thrilled. It came right at the end of the day for Chris Walker. There's the win then. 20-lap race, as Roger Burnett said at the start, a shortened race distance and confirmation of Walker's win. Rutter, 2nd place, so another rostrum for Michael Rutter. Reynolds, Mackenzie, Shane Byrne and Steve Plater stayed on for 6th. Hayden in 7th. There you have it. 21 points the advantage Walker leads Hodgson by. John Reynolds has closed up marginally there, so still all to play for. Any one of those top 3 can win it. James Hayden has dropped away. He's on 303. There are 3 Hondas in the second half of the table, and Sean Emmett in 10th is the fastest.
Can't believe it. I needed a good result. I've been on the rostrum every time this year, and I was so nervous going into that race. It's horrible when you have a real bum first race, because you're desperate to keep on in the second race, and I knew the boys would be fast because they'd had a race in the wet, so there's a case of just get my head down, kept looking at my lap times, and I've been watching the first race and knew what sort of times they were doing, so I knew I was in the game, but No, mega result. Brilliant.